we emigrated to the United States from South Africa.
And I was looking for a church in this area, and I found Transfiguration.
And walked onto the campus. Father Roper greeted me, and I thought, whoa, this is somebody who sort of talks like I do, maybe a little more precisely.
It was just meant to be. I knew it when I walked in the door.
The church was very plain. There was not much in here. There was no ornamentation whatsoever. It was just the brick, the floor, and the pews.
And here comes Father Roper from behind the Great Wall, I call that, the Great Wall.
He really envisioned how this place could look. And thank heavens for that wonderful vision. We were very fortunate to have Madeline Grant, who was a fine needlepoint designer.
I loved needlepoint, and Madeline Grant was the directress of the Needlepoint Guild, and I started needlepointing with her.
Father Roper, together with Madeline, got together, and it went from there. And the first things that we did were the acolyte chairs. He started with that, and the chairs up on the altar. They did those. And we already had the wonderful stained glass windows within the church. And Father Roper had an artist use the colors and the patterns on those windows to be needle pointed. Every single one of these cushions has been taken from one of the windows, which is absolutely wonderful. And if you look at the back of each of the cushions, it tells who did it. You can tell your great-great-great-grandchildren go into the church and you'll see what I did. This is truly a house of worshippers who have given so much time and talent. You can't put a number on it. Whatever was done with the love of this church, the love of what it stands for. We seek and serve every person. When people decide they want to do something, there's no holding back. You can literally have a vision of something and then go after it.
The Blessed Family right here was a vision for Father Roper. It's called the Holy Family. Barbara Walker was the sculptor, and Father Roper's mother is the Blessed Mother. And I don't know if very many people know that. And then the children's faces are all children from the parish Episcopal School. And he went and picked out a few of the children and put them in the Holy Family. It is a gift to the future of the church. Yeah. And the same with the frontal. We had to order the canvas from Ireland, and we had to wait to get it. You had to count every stitch before you could make one stitch on it, because you had to know the pattern.
Madeline had designed this whole altar, festival frontal, but that was another parish project. Once a week, a large group of people got together. It was women, it was men. I brought my children who were 12 years old at the time. We worked on it down in the parish hall at the bottom of the hill, and then we had a fire down there, and the whole thing went up in smoke.
We had almost 500 hours in that frontal, and it got burned. We were working down in the parish hall, and we brought the burned canvas up here, and we all cried over it, and we all looked at, now what are we going to do? Well, we're going to start over. And that's exactly what we did. It was emotional to sit and needlepoint with all of these lovely ladies and know that you were doing something that was going to last for generations upon generations.
And on the sides of the frontal now, there's a phoenix, because that was the phoenix rising out of the ashes.
I don't think there's another church in the United States that have what we've got. And all the new people that were going to come into this church and see the beauty of what a congregation can do when they set their mind to it, with the leader as we had in Madeline Grant.
By this time, Madeline Grant had passed away, But Howard Ross was over in a recital in Fort Worth and noticed that the kneelers all had the needlepoint and thought, well, we could do this at Transfiguration. He invited the parish to dedicate something.
To be a part of it, even if they weren't stitching, by donations of $150. And then each kneeler was dedicated to whomever they wanted it to be dedicated.
And I was able to, with each stitch, think about them and know, forever I would have that connection with them, which was absolutely profound.
We needlepointed every Tuesday, 58 women and men and some children that worked on the kneelers. We needlepointed together, we cried together, we played together, we prayed together. Every stitch that we did was a stitch of love and consideration and may have had a tear in it, but you knew what you were doing.
There were 3 of our members who zapped through these things, just like that. And then there was the one who took 3 years to complete her one, but she did it, and that was so personal to her. Every single one is unique in its own pattern, and then picked out the colors from the triptych. It was started in 2005 and finished in 2009.
But 4 years of my life means people kneel on these kneelers. They say their prayers, they cry, they celebrate.
Anybody who wanted to give of themselves to this wonderful place had an opportunity to do it. And I'm always astounded at the generosity of this parish. Talk about the windows at the back and the font and the tabernacle. I mean, it just goes on and on and on.
And the time and the talent that you give stays here. Everybody has a talent. They have to find out where it is. Mine happened to be needlepoint, which I love.